Well, we are back now live inside the Shine Student Center. It's 5 o'clock in Syracuse, 2 o'clock on the West Coast. I don't know, it's real late over in Europe where hopefully some alumni are tuning in. I'm Kim Infanti. I'm a proud member of the class of 2006, and I now have the honor of working for Syracuse University in the Office of Alumni Engagement and Annual Giving. It's been an incredible day so far, and the topic of this next show is one that I hate to play favorites, but it's one of my favorite topics of any of the shows that we've done today. It is artificial intelligence at Syracuse University. But before we get to that topic, I want to introduce you to my student co-host for this hour's show. He is Ronnie Parillo. First of all, the cologne he's wearing smells fabulous. I just want everybody to know that. We all commented when Ronnie walked into Shine.
Put on some extra spray today.
You smell so good, Ronnie. So tell us a little bit about who you are. Who's
Sure.
Ronnie?
Kim, thank you so much for having me today. I'm actually a senior, only a few weeks away from graduation, which is very hard to believe, studying broadcast journalism and political science here at Syracuse, and I'm from Smithfield, Rhode Island.
Awesome.
So it's great to be here today.
What are you thinking for, I don't want to rush you, but for post-graduation, what's Ronnie's goal?
You know, it's been on my mind a lot lately, but I'd love to be an on-air reporter and eventually an anchor.
Awesome.
So anything to spread kind of positivity in the news.
Excellent. Well,
Yep.
I know we've got a lot of alumni watching, so hopefully they see Ronnie, they see his talent, and maybe that job opportunity will come sooner rather than later. Speaking of talented students, you've been with her and seen her work all day long. She's still with us. She's hanging strong at our update desk. Her name is Isabella Galan. Isabella, what are we seeing numbers-wise? Take us away.
Yeah, those numbers are looking amazing, Kim. And what I want to look at is I want to look at this map that we got right here of all of the states where those donations are coming in. Idaho, we got moved up to 2. Usually we never get Idaho until very late in the night. So it's great that we got 2 from Idaho. And South Dakota, we were at 0 pretty much for the entire day. So it's nice to see those votes. Thank you from everyone that's out in South Dakota who sent in some donations. We also got 2 from Kansas, 2 from Nebraska, 3 in Iowa. Now that's only leaving Louisiana with 0. I mean, that's kind of shocking to me. I feel like we can definitely get some of those numbers up. So anyone in Louisiana, I am talking directly to you. Send some donations our way. Arkansas also only has 1, so maybe we can try and see if we can get those numbers up too. But I got to give a shout out to my great state of New Jersey. We have 356 donations. In second place, New York obviously has the most. We're not really that shocked about that. But it was between New Jersey and Massachusetts. They were pretty tied for a majority of the day. Right now, New Jersey is pulling through, so I'm very proud to all of those people in New Jersey for pulling through with those donations. Let's stay ahead of Massachusetts just a little bit, but that doesn't mean people in Massachusetts don't keep donating. We definitely want donations from everywhere. I just gotta plug my great state of New Jersey. I know Ronnie is from Rhode Island, but those numbers aren't as big as New Jersey. But, you know, that's okay. At least it's still the East Coast, am I right? But we still love everyone in Syracuse, no matter where you're from, whether that's the West Coast, whether that's from the South, or if we take a look at our world map, we even got some donations from Brazil, which is incredible. We love seeing all of the orange love all throughout the world, all throughout the country. And it's so exciting to keep looking at all of that as the day keeps going on. We'll have more of those numbers a little bit for you later, but I'm going to toss it back to you guys.
Amazing, Isabella. Thank you so much. Well, as I said, this next topic for our 5 o'clock show is one of my favorites at Syracuse University. And I joke that I actually started a love affair back in October with a man named Claude. And Claude is one of the many tools for using AI here at Syracuse University and, of course, other places as well. Syracuse is really doing an incredible job implementing AI, and it's not just in computer science, it's across so many different subjects at the university, right, Ronnie?
Yeah, that's right, Kim. I mean, students are gaining, hands-on experience in and out of the classroom, so it's really amazing. I mean, I'm kind of a dinosaur myself. I was telling Kim yesterday, I haven't even really used AI that much, so this segment is quite interesting.
Well, I will
to be
tell
a part
you,
of. I'm very excited about it.
the man who started that love
Yes.
affair with Claude is on the couch with you. His name is Jeff Rubin. You cannot talk about artificial intelligence at Syracuse University without Jeff Rubin. He's a Syracuse alumnus. He's now our Chief Digital Officer. He is leading the charge on AI at Syracuse University. And Jeff, first, thank you for being here to talk AI.
Thanks for having me.
And second, how is Syracuse positioning itself as a leader, not only in AI, teaching AI, but in research about AI as well? Take us through that.
Yeah, so Syracuse University is the nation's most connected campus, and I think that's an important piece because without connectivity, we don't have data. Without data, we don't have AI.
Right.
And we do, from whether it's the JMA Wireless Dome to outside on the quad to in building, we are the nation's most connected campus. And so with that, we're doing a lot with AI right now. And it's not what everybody thinks of just generative AI, right? This is also about operational AI, about using sensors in buildings to look at occupancy, to make better data-driven decisions on classrooms and offices and conference rooms, about our trolleys that go and buses that go across. And then yes, it is about AI in terms of classroom, in terms of student experience, and it's very much about education, about how we educate not just the students, but in this case, it's the faculty and staff of educating them about AI as well.
Right. Ronnie, I want to ask, I know it's he's got this really neat GPT that he uses for his courses, so ask away.
Yeah, well, so, you mentioned about AI kind of being implemented across campus. What are some exciting projects that are currently going on around campus with AI?
So there's a lot of them, and I'm going to back up first to say I think higher education is at a point where if you look back, really the last 100 years, higher ed hasn't changed from a pedagogy standpoint. Right. The way teachers teach, standing in front of a lecture hall, lecturing, and students who are taking notes, and then we test them on this information. That's really the same pedagogy that's been in place for a century. I think with AI, we have for the first time a real opportunity to change the way teachers teach and students learn. And we're beginning to look at some of that. This is so if you look at one of the slides that they just put up here of over 70% of teaching, research, and student submitted content will be developed with generative AI. But notice this doesn't just say students. And I know people might get nervous of saying, well, are we cheating? And we can talk about the ethical side. But if we just looked at teachers should be embracing AI, students should be embracing AI.
Hear that, Ronnie? Students
I did hear that.
Okay.
I did hear that. Maybe I'll embrace a little more.
Well, you should. And I think when you look at it, it is making us all more efficient, more productive. So the question in terms of how are we leveraging this at Syracuse University right now, I'd say in a number of ways. In my class, so I teach a class in the fall, there's a few hundred students in there. In the spring, over 100 students in there. It's Introduction to Information Technology. And I'm teaching the same way we've been doing it for years. I lecture a couple times a week, they take the notes, and then there's this test. But during the pandemic, I started using Zoom, right?
Of course.
And in a large class, forget the pandemic, there's always a handful, 2, 3, 4 students that are sick.
Right.
Well, why can't they attend class? If they're up for it, why can't they attend class over Zoom? And so I give them that option. Well, because I'm using that option, I then thought, well, I'm recording every lecture. Every word that I say is being recorded. Every slide that I talk about is there. So what I've done is uploaded those into a custom GPT using ChatGPT and a Google partner called IBL. And what it allows me to do is then create essentially a virtual Jeff, where the students can ask questions, and it's as if they are talking to me because it is all my material, it is all my words that this has been trained on. And then they can also say, hey, I'd like a practice exam. Can you give me 20 questions on this particular topic where I'm struggling? And so that's just one way where we're leveraging it. But imagine a future, which I think about often, where in a large class or in a small class, you have students that are excelling and know the material, and then there's students who are struggling. And that is going to be in any class, from kindergarten through medical school, right? There's the excellers and the ones that are just taking more time. Well, with AI, we have the ability to teach to the student's level. We have the ability for me to lecture and then do a simulation, and that simulation is based upon where your knowledge is in the class. And so if you're an expert, it is going to take you down to apply real-world knowledge in a more advanced level. And for somebody who's struggling, it's going to be more C-spot run, let's get the basics and then move on. So this is what I mean by, hey, what we're doing today and where we can head with artificial intelligence.
That is so impressive. I mean, my jaw kind of dropped there.
I know, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, is there a virtual Ronnie out there? I don't know. Or a virtual Kim?
We can ask.
We can probably make that.
We'll try.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, we have some wonderful alumni watching today. What is one tip that you have for those alumni to really incorporate AI into their daily lives, into their businesses? How can they harvest that?
So I'm going to speak to the folks that maybe haven't embraced it yet, that are just trying, like they know what it is. I think everybody knows what it is. And in fact, I want to talk about this because if you're an alum that feels like, this just feels like it slapped me, like it just came out of nowhere,
right,
and took this by storm, and everything now is AI. We have a slide that looks at kind of the evolution of different technologies. And when you look at the evolution of different technologies, here it is right here. The telephone, to get to 100 million users took 90 years. 90 years for 100 million users to use a telephone. And you can see electricity was 70 years, and the car was 60 years, and a mobile phone was 14 years, and the web was 7 years, and ChatGPT was 3 months. 3 months. And so
that's pretty incredible.
So when you think about that, yes, if you're an alum that feels like this just came out of nowhere, and I'm behind and I'm lost, that's because it did. It took 3 months to get to 100 million users. So where do alumni start? My advice is the same to everyone who's trying to embrace this, which is start by turning off Google. Pretend Google didn't exist for a week, not for a day, for a week. Pretend it didn't exist. And every time you have a question that you would typically put in Google, put it into AI. I don't care if it's ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude. All three great models. In fact, put it into different ones. One day use one day use another. Your love affair might be with Claude, it might be with Gemini, right?
Yeah.
So put it in there and then realize the information you get back isn't just the answer, it's just part of the conversation. So you can now reply and interact with a follow-up question, which you can't do with Google, right?
Right.
And so this, and my wife, who doesn't embrace a lot of technologies, she's on, why mobile phones took a long time to get to 100 million users. Last night, she's like, hey, I have to go teach a Pilates class tomorrow to a bunch of high school students. I don't know even how to begin to think about this. Could you ask AI? And I was like, honey, you're speaking my love language. Like this was just an amazing question. And we did it, but it was just kind of that first time of getting her to, hey, I want you to type this in, you ask.
Right.
And when she got the answer back, she's like, well, this is good, but it's not the way that I teach Pilates in my studio. And I said, well, tell the name of the studio, Club Pilates, put it in there. And she did, and it redid the answer based on the Club Pilates method. So my point is, you have to get your toes, dip your toes in the water and just try it. And I think what you'll find is after a week, you'll have the love affair.
Very
Amazing.
interesting.
I'm going to jump out of order just a little bit, Ronnie, and ask Jeff, you touched on it a little bit, but how are you preparing students, or is there an example of a professor who's really thinking next level about students are going to go out into a world where AI is part of every workplace?
That's right.
And preparing them to know, like Ronnie is going to go into a newsroom, how will AI revolutionize how the news is delivered? How will AI revolutionize all of these different careers? How is Syracuse addressing that?
Yeah, so I'm going to take it in two ways. I'll answer the question about the news, but first it's how are we preparing our students?
Right.
And I think what we can't do is say, let's pretend this doesn't exist, right? Or, it's the same when Wi-Fi was coming into place, and there were faculty around the country that said, no, we're not going to Wi-Fi in the classroom, so put up metal walls. For real, put up metal walls to block the Wi-Fi signals, right? We can't pretend this doesn't exist. We have to, that means faculty have to embrace it, staff have to embrace it, and we've got to allow our students who are embracing it. I could envision a time when every student, faculty, and staff member at Syracuse University has a paid license, an enterprise license for an AI tool, much like we give out licenses for Microsoft Office, right? I believe that's important because of what you said. When the students get out into the real world, they're going to be expected to be a user, an advanced user of AI. Now, how's it going to apply to a newsroom or other roles?
Right.
Is, I get wary of the term automation, but I'm really a big fan of augmentation, right? Which is, this is going to help augment what you do. So whether it's a news story you're working on, and I don't know your world, right? So forgive me, but I would imagine you have to do research.
Absolutely.
Right? And that research might have taken a team of people or taken days or hours to create. That now should be taking minutes, right? And so it's augmenting tasks. Now, what it can't do is necessarily put you on air. I mean, it could, but not sure we're quite ready for that.
Not yet, yeah.
Right?
Maybe the virtual Ronnie, I don't know.
Maybe, right? And it's not gonna go out and visit with people in the community to hear their stories. Right? So I think when you look at every role, you think of all the tasks that job has, and you begin to look at what tasks can be automated and which tasks do you still need the human to do. Right. And what this just means is we're going to be able to cover stories at a deeper level. We're going to be able to cover more stories because we can do more with less. And that is going to be the same whether you're a radiologist, whether you're a newscaster, whether you're a developer, right? That AI is going to help augment. We've got to prepare our students for that world.
Amazing. Ronnie, take us to the last question.
Well, if we have anybody who's giving from Rhode Island, I hope that there's someone giving from Rhode Island. I know that my family did, so that's a plus a couple of people. How can alumni be sure that their gifts are going to really funnel into this new AI innovation here at Syracuse University?
Yeah, I strongly believe that the gifts that are coming in to our academic programs, Kim, when we started, you said this isn't just about computer science or engineering, and that is right. Every dean I speak to has an AI strategy which fits into our overall AI vision. We need resources to get this done, right? My moonshot isn't just that we're giving every student an AI license, but we're giving them an AI-enabled laptop, right? And so we are setting them up when they come into Syracuse University with the tools to succeed in an AI-connected environment, right? To be able to do that, not only do we have to give these resources, but we have to train the faculty. We have to really train them to embrace and understand how to use this and how they can change pedagogy. Yeah. And where faculty used to spend most of their time creating content's not going to be the barrier anymore, right? Same with the news research. Content's not going to be the barrier. So let's think about new ways of doing this, and your gifts are going to help allow us to succeed.
Incredible. Awesome. Jeff Rubin, I have to thank you. Again, personally, I was so afraid of AI until that session, October 1st, 2024. I will not forget it. Jeff presented to faculty and staff, and Claude is part of my everyday now. It's part of my cooking dinner at night. You put in the ingredients you have in your fridge, and it's like, hey, here's dinner. And you're like, okay, well, thank you.
See, no, that's very useful.
Right?
I think I should try that.
Are you sold now?
Well, okay. I am, because I kind of have like an assortment, a piece of fish, a vegetable,
Ronnie, we're going
starch.
out to lunch. We got to bring you to 2025.
Maybe I'll cook you the lunch with the
no, I don't think I want your lunch, but we'll go to lunch.
All right. Well, Jeff Rubin, again, our Chief Digital Officer here at Syracuse University. AI is moving so quickly, and you are at the forefront of every little move and every big move that's happening. So thank you so much.
Thanks for having me today.
I want to show us a video because, Ronnie, this is really exciting. We're unveiling a new tool that will connect students and alumni, and it's using AI. It's called Ask Orange Alumni, and if you're watching today, you're one of the first alumni to hear what's coming. We're thinking about a launch sometime in around mid-May, but broadcast viewers have a sneak peek, so let's hear about AOA for short.
Do you know you're part of a community of thousands of Syracuse University alumni committed to your success? And you can reach out to our community anytime. With Ask Orange Alumni, it has never been easier to receive help from members of the Orange community right now. Alumni can help you figure out the next steps in your Syracuse University journey, give you insights into a career change, or offer an insider's perspective on your dream company. Sounds great, right? But the first step is finding them. And that's where Ask Orange Alumni comes in. You fill out a short online form with your name, your email, and your question. We'll send it out to our online community of alumni experts and make a match. Within a few days, a member of the Orange community will email you directly. It's as simple as that. You'll have direct, one-to-one communication with a Syracuse graduate who has paved the way for students and alumni. You have questions, Syracuse University alumni have answers. Find a Syracuse graduate who can guide you on your journey by visiting askalumni.syr.edu.
Not live, so don't go and use it just yet. The vendor partner will absolutely have my head if people start using Ask Orange Alumni right now. But Ronnie, I wanted to show you as a current student, especially one who's a senior about to graduate. So the way this tool works, and you kind of heard a little bit about it in the video, is that you simply go to this website and you put in your question. And using AI, it will find the best alumni in our alumni database to answer your question. And this is not just for students to use, this is for faculty and staff to use, it's for professors, it's for alumni to use to be able to make incredible career connections. So it's as simple as just clicking, and we are going to change out this photo. I should say, disclaimer, we're still in implementation, so we're going to find a brighter photo of the Hall of Languages, but you simply press Ask a Question, and it will take you to a simple form that you fill out. You let us know who you are. You let us know your email address. Are you a student? Are you an alum? What are you studying? And then it actually uses AI. You can even use down in the corner here, we've got our fun little view examples, and it will allow you to formulate a question. So I'm about to graduate from Syracuse University. I've been studying broadcast journalism. I'm looking for my first role in television news in Rhode Island. I'd love to connect with alumni who've worked in Rhode Island in the past to hear how they got there. Boop, 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 boop. It goes into our alumni database, finds matches for alumni who've worked in Rhode Island, who've been in TV news, asks them the question. Alumni can choose to respond. They can choose to pass. You can update your information. You've seen it. You've seen it here first, Ronnie. What do you think?
I think it's incredible. It kind of saves you from that awkward little, I stalked your LinkedIn profile kind of encounter. I always feel a little bit weird about doing that. So, the fact that this program is out there, I think it's going to help students truly for generations to come, and I think it's incredible. As a Newhouse student, I know that Newhouse prides itself on the alumni network that we have, and it really is so strong, and this can only elevate that.
Awesome, awesome. So again, alumni, stay tuned. This should be ready to release sometime in May, probably around the time that you're walking for commencement.
Pretty convenient.
Yep, should be ready to roll. And alumni will receive an email. It'll be sometime next month. This only works if we know exactly where alumni are working, what their current job titles are. So we're going to send an email out asking for your updated contact information so that this Ask Orange Alumni tool can work seamlessly. And it's just another example of how Syracuse University is embracing AI. Ronnie will be embracing AI after this segment.
AI.
I can't wait.
For alumni connections and for dinner.
Excellent. I love to hear it. All right. Well, it's approaching the dinner hour here at Syracuse University, and our next show is one that really is not to be missed. It's about Syracuse University's athletics department. You'll hear from current students. You'll hear from coaches. You'll really get the breakdown on why giving to Syracuse University athletics truly makes a difference, and who better to tell us that but our student athletes. Let's hear from them, and we'll see you at 6 o'clock.
Today is Cuse Giving Day.
The biggest day of the year
for donor participation to Syracuse athletics.
There are so many ways to make an impact.
Support your favorite program with a gift to a head coach's fund.
Or contribute to athletics competitive excellence
or the Athletic Opportunity Fund.
All of which help build a world-class experience for more than
550 student athletes at Syracuse like myself.
Every gift makes a difference. Whether your donation is big or small,
your support fuels our success.
In competition, the classroom, and beyond.
The Syracuse Student Athlete Experience
is made possible by donors like you.